know about the bridge. You see I state bridge here? Yeah. And I state that the bridge is the ruler. And this is Ravana, inches and millimeters. Now, this bridge, which we call the Rampersad bridge, is this, the ruler. And this book is explaining this thing in detail. So I don't know who are the people entrusted to read this book. I keep saying, do not read this book if you don't know what you're reading. They're reading this and seeing Rampersad bridge or whatever they call it from India to Sri Lanka.
Yeah.
The bridge is this. And what is the bridge? Ram is constructing inches to millimeters. So let's go here. This is chart number 56. Page 583, verse 6. See, 20 oceans. You'll get 21, 2, 3, 4 divided into 5. You'll get 20 oceans. Ravana, 10 mouths.
Good evening, and welcome to this evening's presentation on Sankhya Television, where we have Mr. Lalchan Rampersad once again in studio. And today's topic is a continuation from last episode, where he covered the derivation of measurements from the Ramayana, and today's topic is inches, meters, Bible. Mr. Rampersad, once again, thanks for coming to share your research with us.
Okay, thanks for having me. Okay. All right. Part 1, inches, meters, Bible. That's the topic today. Hello, everyone. My name is Lalchan Rampersad. I am here to represent a research titled Inches, Meters, Bible. But first, I would like to thank authorities of Sankhya Television for permitting me to present this research. Inches, meters, Bible. Traitors and collaborators. In past videos, I presented many points. Dates, literal history of Ram, many mathematical formulas. I stated that Ramcharita is not a religious book. That is, this book here this is not a religious book, right? I stated that Ramcharita is book of mathematics. I stated that pundits are preaching mathematics as God from Ramcharita. From above points, I want to make it very clear that pundits are traitors and collaborators with Christians to bring down Hindus. This research is based on these two groups, Christians and pundits. Christians, people attached to Christian groups have no knowledge of their identity. They claim Bible as their scripture but have no knowledge of it. They claim to worship an invisible God but have no knowledge about this God. In this research, I am in search of this invisible God. That is from the Bible. In previous video, we were in search of God from Ramcharita. Did you find him?
No.
Did anybody found this God that we were talking in the Ramcharita? Now the God that is spoken of from this Ramcharita Manasa are what the pundits are presenting to you. Now the pundits are presenting also an invisible God, because when he's stating that it is mythology, meaning it is invisible. This God is not a human being. All right. So let's see how it works now. So we are looking for the Christians worship an invisible God. All right.
Right.
So we are in search of this invisible God now. The last time we searching for the God in the Ramcharita, I looking for the invisible God here now. So we will go to two verses here. 1 Timothy 1:17 from the Bible. The verse states very clearly, the only God invisible. So he states it one time invisible. Then in John 4:24 it says God is a spirit. All right. Now in Luke 24:31 it said, and their eyes were opened and they recognized him and he disappeared from them. So there where you have it one time, who is it they recognize? So means somebody cites somebody as a God here now. Now, certain other books said they did not recognize him, right? So in other words, somebody saw this invisible God, right? I stated that God in Scripture was identified as creator or invention, and pundits were teaching Hindus that Ram was mythology, meaning he does not exist as human. He was invisible. I presented Ram as human, an inventor from Ramcharita. We found Ram as a human and creator of inventions. It was Ram who built bridge, the ruler. This bridge, which is the ruler, was built by Ram. That's a human being built that, you know.
Yeah.
This is not an invisible God or a mythological God. This is a real human built that, and Ram built that. Okay? This part of research is based on Bible. Christians are taught that God is invisible. So we are in search of this invisible God. There are many verses in the Bible where God was seen face to face. We must find this invisible God. So our mission in this project or in this research here is to find this invisible God. Now when you go to Exodus 33, let me say, and Jehovah would speak to Moses face to face. Right? Now Ram, this is Ram speaking to Moses here. Ram, God, that is number one. All right. Let me put it up here. Now this, I put Noah in this chart, but that is Ram. Okay? So Ram is speaking to Moses, right? Ram is number one. Speaking to Moses face to face. Now who was Moses? Moses was 15 zeros. These zeros here, that is Moses. Exodus 33:18. Then Moses requested, please let me see the dazzling light of your presence. Moses, these zeros here are requesting from Ram to see the dazzling light. Right? What is this dazzling light? This dazzling light is three gunas. These three gunas here, they are three gunas. That is the dazzling light, meaning fire. I explained that the gunas were fire, right? Now, Genesis 32:29, Jacob said, now tell me your name. But he answered, why do you want to know my name? Now, Jacob Ram, that's here, is asking this invisible God to tell him his name. This is what the verse is saying, eh? Now, what he had? But he answered, why do you want to know my name? Right? Jacob Ram asked invisible God to declare his name. But invisible God answered, why do you want to know my name? Genesis 32:30. Jacob said, I have seen God face to face, and I am still alive. I want people to understand that. This is, people make a lot of stories with this, that you cannot see God, you will die. So hear what the verse is saying. But Jacob Ram said that I have seen God face to face, and I am still alive. You have to understand and take this into context. Jacob Ram is alive, meaning that Ram was a living person and is constructing invisible God. All right? Exodus 33:19, the Lord answered, I will make all my splendor pass before you, and in your presence I will pronounce my sacred name. Now listen, the invisible God is talking here, you know, and he's telling you that I will pronounce my sacred name. What is his sacred name now? This invisible God. Invisible God will pronounce his sacred name. His name is invisible. So I want people to understand that the God, invisible God that they say is invisible, his name is invisible. Did you get it? Now, verse says clearly that sacred name for invisible God is invisible spirit. I presented that with the first two verses here, with 1:17 and 4:24, where God is invisible and is also a spirit. So the name of this invisible God is invisible spirit. So he's not an invisible God. That is his name. Lord Ram human was constructing three gunas. Ram was constructing his three gunas, right? To carry out functions of Ram, right? Invisible God is invisible spirit. 1 and 15 zeros. I don't know if anybody, if you can see it here, but I put it here for INVISIBLE, and then spirit on each zero. This is how you will identify the invisible spirit with the zeros. Okay? Now, and what it means? 1,000 trillion ashes or millimeters transferred to Sattva Rajas Tamas. That is what it is transferred to, right? 16 letters on journey into Ramcharita Manasa. So this, once they put that into the 16 letters here, it is in this Ramcharita Manasa. So you are taking this along, and this is the journey. Okay? Ram was human and inventor. God created heavens and earth, universe. This God was Ram. Now, the three gunas here, I'll just make a small explanation here. This is called three puppets of Ram. Revelation 13 to 14 from Pi. It is from Pi these three gunas were constructed, which is fire. Three gunas were constructed. From Pi a statue was made of three gunas, three puppets. So these are statues, or what we call puppets, right? Revelation 13:15. Life breathed into three puppets. Who refuse to worship three puppets as death. In animate puppets, three gunas become animate with life. So these are the three gunas that Ram invent. And they are performing the functions of Ram. And they are inanimate objects. Now, they became animate. I will explain to you when they become animate. All right. Revelation 13:18, number of three gunas is 666. So this is the 666 that everybody heard about. Ram constructed three gunas inanimate. It is the authors who take these three gunas and constructed the three gunas animate. He put life into that three gunas. So that three gunas become alive. Now we have found invisible God. What was the invisible God? Ashes and millimeters. This invisible God, that name invisible, is ashes and millimeters, right? You must understand sequence of events. Ram constructed events for 12,000 years. You have to understand the events here that Ram constructed from there to this point. 12,000 years of history, literal history. He returned to India with manuscripts of all events. So we will put it at this point, he reached in India. All right? Ram delivered manuscripts to authors. Now he delivered the manuscripts to authors. And this is where he's at now. When he did this part here is this referring to the here. He delivered the manuscript to authors here in Treta Yuga. All right? So, authors are checking events from start to construct book in Ramcharita Manasa. So, if they are at this point, the author now is taking the manuscript, is going back to start there. So, this Ram presents these three gunas as inanimate, without life. The authors now present life into the three gunas and start from there coming back. Right? Authors then constructed inanimate three gunas as animate with life. Three gunas become puppets. This was how scriptures were created. So for each invention, Ram transfers work to three gunas. So all the work that Ram is doing is transferring it to the inanimate objects, right? Inventions are recorded into 7 manuscripts. So we call in this 7 manuscripts here. All right. To identify inventions, 3 gunas are present into each of 7 manuscripts. So these gunas these are the gunas here. They're just with different names, right? I will explain as we go along. 3 gunas were appointed to carry invisible spirit. So the 3 gunas are appointed to carry this invisible spirit, which is meters and inches, to 14,000 years. Part 2. Cain, Abel, ruler. Bridge, inches and meters. Now in the last video, or the last video, I presented inches and meters by Ram, Hanuman, and Hanuman, and what's the next character? Okay, I forgot the name there. But in this case, I want you to, who knows, who could read this Bible, go to Genesis 4:1. Presents Cain's birth. And I will tell you how to find who is Cain. You find the 8 forms of Genesis 4:1 and it's 8 ashes. Just the same thing I was explaining. The ashes, Ram is transferring ashes to millimeters, right? 4:2, Abel's birth, 12 millimeters, 12 forms. What is it telling you? 8 ashes equals to 12 millimeters. So that is what you can check on your ruler or do the calculation. Now on 4:3, Cain, 6 ashes, 6 forms. 4:4, Abel, 10 millimeters, 10 forms. 6 ashes is 10 millimeters. You could check it there and you will find that. Now, Genesis 4:5-6, Cain, 16 ashes, 16 forms equals to 1 inch. And Abel, 4:7 and Abel, 25 forms, 25 millimeters. What the verse is telling you? 16 ashes equals 1 inch equals 25 millimeters. Cain and Abel are same ruler or bridge, inches and meters constructed by Ram. Invisible spirit, inches and meters. Cain and Abel are taken on journey to 14,000 years. So this is the invisible spirit that they are transporting to 14,000 years. So we understand what this invisible spirit is. In this book, both books, is inches and meters, right? So we found the invisible spirit. Now, I want to go to a verse here, Daniel 7:10, and people who have Bible, who have some knowledge on Bible, can go to that verse. And listen, this is one verse presented. I'm going to present 3 different versions from 3 different Bibles on the same verse, right? Now, from International Standard Version, you will get 1,000,000 trillion. From Literal Standard Version, same Daniel 7:10, you will get 100 trillion. Now, when you go to Dewey Rhymes Bible, on the same 7:10 in Daniel, you will get 1,000 trillion. Now, if you, depending on the Bible you have, you would not get that because this is the only Bible that I have found, this 1,000 trillion. In the same Dewey Rhymes Bible, when you go there, you will see they have, most of them have 10,000 by 10,000. This is the only one with 10,000 by 100,000. So it's only Dewey Rhymes Bible have that. So we have 3 figures from one verse, 3 different figures from one verse. Now, chart number 57. Yeah, this is this chart here. Now I will explain how 3 gunas, 3 puppets, were appointed to deliver invisible spirit. Here, I have the invisible spirit written in pen, if you can see it, right? Inches and meters, Cain and Abel, or Ram and Shatrughna, to 14,000 years. So we're coming down to the 14,000. Now Ram plus 1,000,000 trillion equals to 19 letters, equals to 18 zeros, right? 3 gunas, pi, that's pi here. Personal and impersonal, when you check the letters, you will get 18 letters. Now Ram plus 18 letters is 19 letters. We must now look into chart number 57. Now, what I was doing there, I'm explaining how to find the what we call the amount, the total amount of what we call inches and millimeters from who is transporting it. Now when you go to Ram plus Joseph here, plus Bilma plus Zilpah, you will get Ram plus that, you will get 19 letters. This is the 3 gunas here, and only this one provide that. Okay, So we found 3 gunas with 1 million trillion inches or millimeters. This is the invisible spirit that he's carrying here. So you have to understand, this is how you get the 3 gunas moving with the invisible spirit. That's why they say if you have the spirit in you, this is what it means. This is the science. In reading this is the science. This is what our ancestors teach we to learn. Not stories, to tell the story. This is the science. You have to know how to read your Bible. Now when you go to 1 million trillion, page, this is in chart number 58. We'll take it from this chart. In this part, Ram appoints 3 gunas. So I have Ram here. So he appoints these 3 gunas. Sattvika, Rajasika, and Tamasika. When you check the letters of these 3 characters, or the 3 gunas, you will get 25 letters. From chart number 58, Ram plus Raghunatha, Raghupati, and Hari equals 25 letters. You can check that. And what that means? 1 trillion inches or millimeters. This is how the writers wrote this. Our ancestors present this writing. Right. So we're going back to chart number 57. And in chart number 57, Daniel 7:10 again, in this case Ram is Noah. I present him there. Noah appoints these 3 gunas. These 3 are Noah plus Shem, Ham, Japheth. You will get 15 letters from this. I think I put it there. You'll get 15 letters from it. This now, when you do your calculation, this is 100 trillion inches or millimeters. So this will give you an idea of how this Bible or Ramcharita Manasa are constructed or were constructed, right? Now from chart number 57, 1,000 trillion again, you will get Ramcharita Manasa when you read it. I explained that in the last time. Meaning that Ram is 3 gunas. Now Ram itself is included into this now, right? 16 letters, 1,000 trillion. Ram is carrying invisible spirit, 1,000 trillion inches and meters. In Bible, this is referred to as transformation or transfiguration. From Ramcharita Manasa, Hindus refer to this science as reincarnation or avatars. They also refer to this science as manifestation. They have no knowledge of scripture, so they don't know what they're talking about. All right? Both of them, both Bible people and pundits. Right. We're going to part 3, Noah's Ark. Yeah, that's it. Okay, chart number 57 again. Now we have seen how all covenants, inventions were constructed inside of tent, Satya and Treta Yuga, and written into manuscripts. Ram divided manuscripts into 7 divisions. Now we can see how this works. Right? It divided manuscripts. These are, I must let you know that right here are the manuscripts. 1, 2, 3, and 2 is 5, and 1 is 6, and 1 is 7. That is the 7 manuscripts that presented itself here in the end. Or what I will keep saying, these are the manuscripts or the sages. So they are the sages or manuscripts. All right? Ram making inventions with 3 gunas. 3 gunas inanimate. 3 gunas are inventors in this context. So these 3 gunas become the inventors. Okay? Ram assembled all inventions constructed in Satya and Treta Yuga, first and second heavens. So all of the inventions were constructed in these 2 heavens here. I have the 2 heavens, this first heaven and second heaven. All right? 1,000 trillion ashes, 1,000 trillion millimeters is Ramcharita Manasa. That is the letters referring to that. These he delivered to 3 gunas on 3rd heaven, Dwapara Yuga. So he did this journey. He did this journey and has come here now to in the end here. This is Dwapara Yuga here, right? To deliver these manuscripts. Okay. 3 gunas in this context are Noah's Ark. I presented here as Noah's Ark, right? To deliver inches and meters to 14,000 years. Inches and meters are Cain and Abel, invisible spirit. Now, 3 sons, 3 gunas. I will give you an idea here how this works, so you can get a handle into its operation. Now, Ram with 3 gunas inanimate, right? Now, when you go to Genesis 7:13, Noah and wife enter tent. This is the tent here, or we call Satya and Treta Yuga as tent, right? Sattva, Rajas, Tamas, 3 gunas. They refer to this now as the boat or the ark. Noah and wife enter boat with 3 sons. So these are the 3 sons here they enter with, right? This was transfer of 3 sons to 3 gunas, taken with them 1,000 trillion ashes, or 1,000 trillion millimeters. So they are here now, and they are taking this value, this amount on the journey. That is the invisible spirit. 3 sons, Shem, Ham, Japheth, equals to 3 gunas. 3 gunas inanimate arrived at Dwapara Yuga, 3rd heaven. So they arrived here at Dwapara Yuga. This is supposed to be Dwapara Yuga here, right? Yeah, they arrived at Dwapara Yuga. Now, that was Ram's journey. Now he handed over all of the manuscripts in Dwapara Yuga. Now you hand it to the authors. So the authors are now going back to the beginning, meaning from here now. They live here and they're going back there to start. Right? Now, Genesis 9:18, 3 gunas transferred to 3 sons, Shem, Ham, and Japheth. Genesis 9:20 and 21, the verses making statement that Noah here was naked. Meaning, when they went there, he was naked. Meaning, there were no manuscripts, written manuscripts to construct book. That is what it means. So they left to go back to start where there was no there were no manuscripts. Right? Now, Genesis 9:23, Shem and Japheth went backward. That is what the verse is saying. Writing of book from start, you have to go backward. If you starting to write the book and you are here, or which is called Dwapara, you have to go back to get all of the information from the beginning. That's what it means. Okay? So that the authors take over the manuscripts and move on. So now, what you have now is that you're traveling on this now. This is the same thing I have here. This is from Dwapara Yuga, and here I have from Dwapara Yuga. You're doing the traveling. I would not go to explain it in detail because I've did this on many occasions before. So I'll just give a brief. Now, Dwapara, 3rd heaven, that is it here. Yeah, that is it here, and that is it here too. Right? Now, 7 sages, inches and meters, Cain and Abel are on Dwapara Yuga. Genesis 4:8, this is first resurrection. First resurrection is there, right? And on 3rd heaven, Cain killed Abel. If everybody know the story, what it meant is inches separate from meters, right? So this is first death. So you get the first death there, right? Now, 3 gunas delivered inches and meters to Vedi number 1. So I refer to this here as Vedi number 1. And it is here too, right? So I will just step up so people can try to figure out, but I explain it so they can go back to the past videos to find out. Now, first Vedi is second resurrection. You know, the first Vedi, second resurrection. That is where they reach. Second Vedi is second death. Right? And this is the same thing here. This is Vedis here, first, second, and third. Right? Third Vedi is 3rd resurrection. 4th heaven, Kali Yuga, 4th resurrection on 4th heaven. Now this is heaven, now you get the 4th resurrection on the heaven. Right? Now on 4th Vedi, you also have the 3rd death, right? And then on 5th Vedi, you have a 5th resurrection. And on 6th Vedi is the 4th death. And 7th Vedi is 6th resurrection, right? Now, when you go to Genesis 4:16, they said he went to the land of Nod. Where is the land of Nod? Don't you think they should be able to find this land today? Where is this land of Nod? They say Cain went to the land of Nod. Yeah. Well, all right, land of Nod is India, right? And what it went back to, Cain and Abel, inches and meters returned as God to India. So the inches invisible God is God. So that is where you found the invisible God. And this is the same God in the Ramcharitamanas that the Pandit have no knowledge about. All right? God referred to our inches and meters. Proof that mathematics are God. So they're telling you inches and meters are God. What is that? Not mathematics? Measurements?
Yeah.
That is God. So you found the God, the Bible says he invisible, and them say is mythology. So this God, now we can see this God. And this God is the ruler. All right? Part 4. 3 subjects. Following verses present 3 subjects. Dharma Yoga, literal history. Jnana Yoga, spiritual world. Karma Yoga, birth and death world. Now when you go to Revelation 14, 6 to 7, it tells you about Dharma Yoga, study of literal history. You go to Revelation 14, 8, spiritual world, study of belief world. You go to Revelation 14, 9 to 13, Karma Yoga, study of birth and death world. You must be qualified with 3 subjects to teach or preach. I keep saying, when you're reading these books, you have to have these 3 subjects. Otherwise, you're wasting time. You have no knowledge what you're reading. This goes to anybody and everybody. Now, I want to present a popular topic, the 3 wise men. And it's Christmas time and everybody should know about the 3 wise men. Nobody found where the 3 wise, they said they came from the east. Yeah, but they never found which part. And they never found the identity of the 3 wise men. Who are these 3 wise men? All right, so we're going to chart number 59 here to present these 3 wise men. And chart number 59 presents the 3 wise men. You will see I put them here. 1, 2, 3 of them. 3 wise men. 1 wise man each. Who is that 3 wise men? Sattva, Rajas, Tamas. So these are the 3 gunas. That are the 3 wise men. I want the Bible people and the Ramcharita, the Pandits, to find these 3 wise men. Because nobody seemed to have any understanding on that subject. Right? Now Ram brought Sattva, Rajas, Tamas to carry the volume. Volume is volume really meaning the volume of or number of formulas, or volume of formulas, or quantity of formulas. Right? 1,000 trillion ashes, 1,000 trillion millimeters to 14,000 years. Volume is described as kingdom of heaven. As a matter of fact, in this here in Matthew 3:2, volume is stated as kingdom of heaven. This is so the kingdom of heaven is this formula for volume. All right. Each of 7 sages presented manuscripts. Each of 7 sages of this volume present their manuscripts. It was Ram who brought formula for volume from east, that is India. Who is this ghost Archimedes? It was Christian cannibals who looted formulas from Ramcharitamanas. Now I'll give a verse here which mentions that these 3 gunas are puppets. Right? Now when you go to page 79 of the verse 2 of Ramcharitamanas, the state Saraswati, the gunas, is like a puppet. Rama, inner controller of all, is master who holds strings. So he's telling you that. Rama, controller of inanimate puppets. So he is controlling, Ram is controlling the inanimate objects or puppets. Right? But the author's controller of animate puppets. Life put into 3 gunas. So it's the author that put the life into the 3 gunas. Part 5, Ramcharitamanas, chart number 58. So we will. All right. Chart number 58. Now, page 3, verse 7. It mentions stream and holy Ganga. This is in the Ramcharitamanas. Say Noah talk about the ark and the flood. This talk about the stream and the holy Ganga, right? And the three gunas in this case here is Nirasa, Vishada, and Gonamaya, right? The three gunas here. Three gunas are appointed by Ram to journey to starting point in Satya Yuga. So you have to say there is Satya Yuga from the beginning, and to collect manuscripts of Ram's journey. Three gunas are like three puppets inanimate. Page 3, verse 7, Assembly of Saints. This is in this book here. Three gunas are ready for journey. Three gunas are acting like Ram to construct inventions. From page 3 to page 18, present journey of three gunas to gather manuscripts. Page 13, verse 7 to 8, state Raghunatha restore manuscript. So Raghunatha, what it is telling you, to restore manuscript, he has to go back to start from Satya Yuga, right? To collect the manuscript. Now, verse presents three gunas with forms of 54 names, each delivered to 7 sages on Treta Yuga. That is where I get the 54 spirits each on this, each one of them. All right, that is in page 32, verse 6. Symbols and signs. How to understand signs. One of the greatest or the setback for the teachers of these books, they don't understand signs and they don't understand symbols. And this is very, very important. One of the most important thing there is that you see pundits teaching people that the creation of the universe or the heavens and earth originate from Vishnu navel. Do you know that?
Yeah.
Right. What do you think it means? You see, this is if you understand the signs and you understand symbols, you will understand it right here. You see here? Right here. Pi. Vishnu navel is the pi. That is what. So you have, and bullhorns and whatnot is the same. Now 0 is measurement when you see me. That is symbols and sign. And the three gunas sattva number, this is number 3. Anytime you're talking 3, you're talking about the three gunas. The trident, you see the fork that they're using, that is also three gunas, right? And the 3 lines on the forehead, and 3 zeros are also 3 gunas. You have to understand that. Brahma sitting on lotus flower, that is here, he's sitting on this, the lotus flower is measurement. He's sitting on measurement, right? On this formula. That is the formula. The formula is 6 parts. You're checking 6 parts. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I should have separated that. But anyway, that's squared. So that is 6, and Brahma is 6 heads. That is what Brahma is supposed to have, right? Now, if you don't understand creation from volume of formulas, you are lost. H symbol, the H symbol here in the book here in Ramcharitamānasa is talking about sacred heart. Now, what could sacred heart, what that has to do with a formula? Now, you have to be imaginative to try to understand what sacred heart means. Here, R squared means that they are taking distances and measurement, that is inches and meters. So what you get in is distance over time will give you speed. That is the formula. So the H now, why they use H and why they're referring to it in Ramcharitamānasa as heart, sacred heart, When they're checking your heart, what they're checking your heart for?
Well, the heartbeat, the rate.
Speed.
Yeah.
If it's no speed, it's death. And if it's too fast, it's high pressure or whatever it is.
Yeah,
so our ancestors was able to present that without anybody having any knowledge on the subject. Okay. So this heart is what they use here to represent speed, right? Now, if you don't understand creation from volume of formulas, you are lost. H symbol equal to heartbeat, speed equal to distance. Here on the radius squared, you're getting the distance and time,
Right.
Yeah, you're getting distance over time, and this is what they are carrying, right? And distance is distance in miles, and time is time in years. And in the same part there, I didn't put it down here, but they give the miles and in the same next day in verse after the other. So it is not something hidden. Now I'm going to part 6. In previous video, I introduced Lord Macaulay. You remember that?
Yeah.
Right. This character is hot news in India at this time. Do you know that?
No, the first time I hear about it was when you...
No, I'm talking about in India right now.
Yeah, well, I didn't hear anything you said that. Yeah.
If you listen to and you've seen this, they went to put up, they went to open the temple.
The Ram
Janmabhoomi temple.
Right.
The whole lecture was on Lord Macaulay.
Okay.
So whether he got it from me or not, he must know in history. Once you're doing the history, you will come across that.
Yeah.
You understand? And how Lord Macaulay, how wicked he was. All right? You are a Christian goon, a thief. You understand? So we must identify them, and they're now identifying them in India.
Yeah.
Like they're now getting wise, and if you go into all these stations there, you will see Macaulay, everybody talking about Lord Macaulay. Right.
Okay.
This is what the pundits and them supposed to be teaching we here. Yeah. Only teaching Kuchur. You can't hear that. You can't get that from Kuchur. Now I want to introduce a new character here that nobody probably ever heard about. A Japanese by the name of Toyotomi Hideyoshi. You ever heard that name?
I mean, all Japanese names are the same to me.
Well, nevertheless. Anyway, I just made a little brief here of him, so I will talk about him. Japan did not simply throw out Catholics. Rather, the rulers in the late 16th and 17th centuries initiated a severe, centuries-long persecution and ban of Christianity, seeing it as a threat to national unity and a potential precursor to foreign occupation or conquest. Christian missionaries, starting with Saint Francis Xavier, was successful in converting Japanese to Catholicism. Japanese rulers saw slave trade conducted by Catholics in Philippines and were using religion as a tool for territorial acquisition. This is the game. This is the game of the religion, you know.
Yeah.
Right? In 1587, Imperial Regent Toyotomi Hideyoshi issued a major edict to expel Catholics from Japan. I will read back that verse. In 1587, Imperial Regent Toyotomi Hideyoshi issued a major edict to expel Catholics from Japan. Christians were expelled and churches destroyed. It was because of Toyotomi Hideyoshi Japan closed its doors to Christianity. Christians continue to fleece the world by using the Bible as a religious book, and which they do not have ownership. Pundits continue to keep Hindus down by preaching religion from Ramcharitamanas, and which is a mathematics book. I want to appeal to all nations to adopt a Toyotomi Hideyoshi policy and rid this world of religion. Religious comes using my ancestors' mathematics to divide people. Appeal. I want to make an appeal to this government to stop all religions from using my ancestors' books, Bible and Ramcharitamanas. These two books are Ram's history, Ram's invention, and Ram's construction of mathematics. They are all teaching and preaching God and religions from these two books. I want to make an appeal to all Hindus and Christians to understand these two books and what it entails. Throw out everyone who preaches God and religions from these two books of mathematics. You should not entertain anybody reading religion from this, because it's not a religious book. Conclusion. Pundits, traitors. I base my verdict on pundits' collaboration with Christians on following points. Pundits continue to preach God from Ramcharitamanas. They ignored my proof that it is a book of mathematics. Christians are doing same. They preach from Bible. This is a mathematics book and is property of Hindus. Both collaborators have ignored my research. I stated that first verse of Ramcharitamanas, measurement in meters as stated. I stated that first page of Bible, Ram constructed time machine. Chapter 4 presents inches and meters, invisible God. I just explained that. Both groups have no knowledge of their books. Pundits and Christians are traitors of Ram's legacy. Both earn their living from scriptures of Ram. Both hate achievements of Ram. Ravana Hanuman. Pundits continue to portray Ravana with 10 heads and Hanuman as a monkey. It is much better to display Ravana with a ruler marked with 10 millimeters and Hanuman with spear marked 2000 millimeters. Ravana is 10 millimeters and the spear is identified as 2000 millimeters. Pundits love to see Hindus suffer embarrassment and ridicule. Traitors do not want you to be proud of Ram's achievements. This is what it is all about. Now, on our topic here, why disdain for Hindus own? This is our topic here. It means why hate scorn for Ram's achievements. This topic is presently displayed on YouTube. You don't have to go too far to understand why Hindus reject their history. This hate for Ram is peddled by pundits. Right? A challenge. I am presenting a challenge to the world. I have prepared an analysis on first chapter of Genesis. I am prepared to debate anyone on my research. Prove God created heavens and earth. First chapter of Bible. Now, I want to let you know that about mad people. Now, what do you make of seeing a person talking to somebody in the sky with arms stretched out wide with book in hand? Do you know you see people like that?
Yeah.
They stretch out their hand and they're talking.
Yeah.
And having a conversation too. And this person is carrying on with a conversation with somebody up in the sky. Now, what is that telling you?
Yeah, generally speaking, avoid that person. You see them mad.
Well, this is exactly, so that's a mad person. He's speaking. And he could not be right in his sense because there's nobody up there. You see? Now, let's look at someone now reading a book about a maths formula identified as God. Remember, the math formula identified as God, you know? I just said that, inches and meters is maths, you know?
Yeah.
And that is God. That you refer to as the invisible God, and the pundits and them refer to this as the mythological God. Right? Now, imagine somebody reading a maths formula and tell you that is God. And the person is preaching to you that this God created heaven and earth. This is what I'm teaching you here, you know. Now, how was that look? Is this person mad? Not mad? Because he is seeing a maths problem there or a formula and he's telling you that is God.
Yeah.
So he is seeing things. If you are seeing something that is not there, what it means?
Delusional.
Very well. So this, I want people to know that you are reading mathematics from these two books. And if you say there's a God, you have to be mad. And if you're not identified as mad, I'm telling you that you are mad. You better look for some help. All right, I think I should just explain something here on this right. Yeah, I could do it with this here. Now remember I said that Ram got married to 7 Sitas.
Yeah, I remember
right.
That one. Yeah.
Now what it meant was this, and they're going around this thing 7 times. Now what it means, these are 7 gunas here. 7 divisions of manuscripts. And when you go around one time, you are really good. If the first one, you're going around this. So you have to go around to each one of those, these sages here, and you means 7 times around each one of them. That is what, because they are presenting this manuscript. So you are going around this manuscript 7 times. This is what it means. So I want people to understand that. Read your Ramcharitamanas very well. This is what it states. So I don't know where they get this. Anyways, our wedding function. All right. So
beside these 7 steps here, you have to repeat the whole cycle 7 times.
Yeah. Now every time you make one revolution, you are going around one of the sage.
Okay.
So when you go in the second revolution, you're going around the next stage. And this is because you are really getting all of the manuscripts together to write the book.
Oh, okay.
Because
so
these are all manuscripts, you know.
So one book, let's say Ram is one scripture, one book. And then it went through all
No. Ram, the manuscripts for Ram.
Yeah.
This is the formula here.
Right.
This is the formula. So you have to go through all of them, and this now is seven groups of manuscripts, and 7 groups of what we call the three gunas, you know. This now is this 7 here, you know, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, you know. So when you are going around them, you are going around each one.
Right.
Right? But you have to go around 7 times. You're using 1. Now to get what Ram is, you have to go around all of that to get this. I was just explaining when you're checking for diameter or the radius or the distance and time. You are really in this formula. You have really formed this, which is called the heartbeat or speed. So you have to go around each one 7 times.
Yeah.
Right? So that is what it means.
But in terms of the timeline, like how this shall have over 14,000 years, the journey of the Hindus.
Yeah.
So the formulas in the Ramcharitamanas is over a period of 14,000 years, the different formulas.
14,000 years is the timeline given for the script. Both Bible. Nobody doesn't know that. It's talking about Satya Yuga. I mean, how much billions of years. I don't know where they got that.
Yeah.
How they got that. They just listen to a smart man. Put a figure and everybody follow, but nobody don't know where it come from.
Yeah.
You see, this is what I'm saying.
But what I mean is the documentation of the different formulas over a period of 14,000 years, or is there something in particular?
What they're doing here for 12,000 years in Satya and Treta Yuga, that's 12,000 years, you know.
Right.
That is it. This is where they put up all them buildings and them in Europe and thing. This is that time, and then he returned. When he returned, it's called that Dwapara Yuga.
Right.
And from Dwapara Yuga, you give these manuscripts of all the inventions and the constructions and everything that they did to the authors. The authors now going back. This is what the authors is doing here now. He's going back to the beginning to get all the information.
Okay. So this is just concerning one invention.
No. All the inventions. This is 12,000 years of history, you know.
No, this one about the formula.
No, the formula. They made that formula from the beginning.
Right.
And this is the formula you really were coming with, because you constructing building with that formula. You're doing all kind of thing with that formula.
Yeah.
And you're making new formulas with it. That is why I say when pi is 3 men, then you have radius squared. Radius squared, you're checking distance, which is diameter, and radius, that is distance.
Right.
In miles or millimeters or inches or whatever it is. And then it is also checking time. So they are coming with distance and time here. And to know the speed they are traveling, the formula is already given here. Speed equal to distance over time. Okay. So they call that the heartbeat.
Yeah.
Right? Now, I want to explain now. I think I probably... all right, I don't... Now, you have 7 here. But if you want to go to the let me say 2 trillion, now you have to add the zeros to suit. To pick up that. Like, for instance, this Raghunatha, I think, is 25 letters. That is 25. That is 2 trillion. Because 12 zero is a trillion.
Right.
So you have 24 plus 1. So you have to. So in other words, you have to add the zeros here to suit that.
Yeah.
So that is how you get in that. So instead of you put well, that you can do the calc. I did some of that, and so you can have an understanding of it.
I saw some pages.
Yes. I'll leave that there so you can figure out how they get in the trillions and the billions and whatnot.
Yeah.
All right. Now you have any questions there?
It had one I had in the earlies. In terms of, well, you mentioned the Dway Rhymes Bible.
Yeah.
And then you had the other 2 that you mentioned. In terms of the accuracy of the information here, the different Bibles have discrepancies, or one is more accurate?
This is what I said. The authors writing these, remember, they're going back to the source.
Right.
Original source. So they're picking up things that the other Bible does not have.
Right.
Or they cannot make sense out of it. Now, nobody could make sense of these trillions, you know. Up till now, you know. But it is there written. So you find for the writer to avoid copying the next writer, he wrote the other things that was on that verse.
Right.
So you will find that they have the 100 billion or the 101 million trillion on the same verse. So it's these authors are picking up these figures from the origin.
Okay.
You understand? So you have the same verse with 3 different figures. That is what it is.
Okay. And then you have so, well, I don't really follow news. So when you mention the speech that Modi gave, in terms of what happened in India, like how you say Modi talk about Lord Macaulay.
Yeah.
What do you think happening in that side that he would bring it up? It's something that never mentioned before, right?
Since I mentioned it, whether they pick it up, because about a month now, a little bit over a month.
Right.
So probably it relayed to him about why he mustn't talk about Macaulay. Now remember, they're trying to move out this English system.
In India?
In India.
Yeah.
They want to get back their own ancient practice, which is the Gurukul system. I explained that. Right. Right. Where the temple itself is this learning center, the knowledge center.
Yeah.
This is what the pundits and them supposed to be doing here, but they discard that.
Right.
So they go on and they copy the Christian system when them copied from we. You see? So that presently in India now, if you go on the internet, the talk is Macaulay.
Right.
Yeah. Right. How and you will get the history. You will get the history on the YouTube from them, because they're reading the history for you, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's enlightened. I want them to get enlightened with this character, Toyotomi Hideyoshi.
Okay.
And throw out these comes from your land. Anybody teaching religion in your land, get them out. Yeah. Yeah.
But the stuff with like how they're doing that and trying to get back the Gurukul system. I think Moody's, I don't know, I never read up on him. I just like from hearing in videos or whatever that like he was raised, he spent some time in monkhood or whatever, like he trained under a guru, not a pundit. So then you think what about the other people, like the Swamis or the yogis or whoever it is?
As I said, everybody that is religiously inclined reading the same thing I read, you know. I'm not reading anything different, you know.
Yeah.
How come they have not seen that? Which meant that I have to say they must have some knowledge. You reading this thing for thousands of years, you know. You have no knowledge. The same thing with the Bible. Now, you will know from what I told you that the Christian goons and them found out the formulas. Yeah. But the Hindu ain't know that. And from the Bible too. And he copied that and bring that. And he giving you your own formulas. And he put in ghost inventors for that. You see? So he thief with formulas from the book. And everybody, Swami and whatever you want to call them, Brahmacharya or pundits, they're sleeping.
Yeah.
Yeah, because and you see, I'm going to tell you something too. Everybody studying their pocket, you know. So they're making a living out of Ram, but would not present his history. This is what I said. They make both in Bible too. They're making a living from Ram, but reject Ram. They say, well, the pundit do it. That's why I call both of them traitors. Both of them collaborating against the Hindus.
Yeah.
And against my ancestors' history and science. This is what both of them is doing.
I know you mentioned it before, because we had discussions about it before. But what is the alternative? You had to mention it, I think, what is the qualification, and when you know all three, then is Sankhya Yoga. Yeah, you become the Sankhya Yogi. So then, when you make the appeal to stop the religious teaching, what is the alternative teaching? No, for you to teach these books, what I'm saying for you to teach, you have to be qualified. Right. You see, I explain in the 6 resurrections and 4 deaths. This now is one of the qualifications which is called either the 6 resurrection and 4 deaths is birth and death world. That's a subject. Right. And what we would call the spiritual world is the spirit. The spirit. They say, what is the spirit?
The spirit is value, the figures, in millimeters and inches, The study of that and how they split and coming down. You understand? You split into two parts, the forms here and coming down. And how these gunas take life, become alive, and carrying this thing down to 14,000. All that is what we call birth and death world and spiritual world. Now, when you want to learn the literal history now, this is where you come here now. That I said is the 12,000 years of literal history of Ram. His inventions and work that he did, the Hindus did at that time. And I must let everybody know, I said it before, in Hinduism, you're never short of traitors.
Yeah.
Every man that come and conquer India is because of Hindu traitors. This is the same thing with the pundits and them in this book. You following the same Christians as a traitor. He got all the information, got all the information from India, but he would not disclose it to you. He claimed it for himself. So you see what it is? So you don't know your book. You understand? And these this literal history that Ram is that has performed for 12,000 years. I want people to know that for 12,000 years they had no problems. You read in the history here,
Right.
Yeah, you read the history about Bible. They had no problems. If you're reading, and you read it and you understand the literal, you will see they have no problems. They talk about fighting. They talk about war. Any time they talk about war or fighting, check is a invention they constructing, or a building they constructing, or they playing a game.
Right.
Check it out right through in Lavakusha Kanda, I think is but a big fight. It's a sporting event, they call it the horse sacrifice festival.
Right.
They did that for 100 years. So that alone is, you've gotten plenty war and plenty fighting and plenty battle. As I said, if you go to the Bhagavad Gita and the first chapter, you will see uncles and grandfather and granduncles and big fight. Yeah, they're playing chess. You check 16 and 16 and it's just game. And chariot son and king and queen and all that is enough they have now.
Okay.
You see? So what we are saying here, the Hindus themselves misunderstanding our writers, or misunderstanding our ancestors. Look at the achievements that Ram present. 12,000 years without problem. And after they're being requested to come back to return to India. It is mentioned in the Bible plain. It mentioned as Jews. Jews did not have these Jews today. That is not the Jews. It's Hindus as Jews there. Were Jews. So they return. How they get land, how they get money, to go and do the construction. That is why I said in the last occasion, you have the Hindu historian looking to see how this temple come here. He can't find nothing.
Yeah.
Why he can't find nothing? Because he don't know that these people live outside and came to build them thing. You see?
Yeah.
This is why I said the Aryan invasion theory is true. It just is being misunderstood.
Yeah.
It is the Hindus that left and came back with all those languages. And they stick you now to tell you, well, the Europeans bring their language. You didn't know nothing. And every man, they can't find out. I don't know. Something is terrible. You can't find dates. I want people to understand something. I presented the dates. This is not in this chart. But an easy way to understand it, the Ramcharita Manasa makes statement very clear. Ram ruled for 11,000 years. You heard I said that?
Yeah.
And he will rule for another 1,000 years, meaning it's 12,000 years. So you know 12,000 years as Ram rule.
Right.
You understand? Now we use it in term, again, Ram meaning an individual. No, that is an entity.
Yeah.
It's Hindus upon Hindus doing this. Now, what happens to that 12,000 years? You come to the Bible, and from the Bible they tell you one time that Jesus' parents took him to a festival. Where did they had festival in Roman times? It's kill and murder. There are no festival, they know nothing about that. The festival they're referring to is the 12,000 years. See, Dante calendar. And then they tell you in the 15th year, 1 year is 1,000 years. So check 1,500, no, 1 year is 100 years. Is also a day is 1,000 years, a year is 100 years. So you check 1,500 years from 12,000 years. It run into 13,500. That is we first CE calendar.
Yeah.
So you get in the dates and you get in anchor points. I explained that in detail.
Yeah.
No historian, none of them have any knowledge about dates. They can't figure out what happened before. Everybody in the BC era, what they know. You have the thing very plain in your Ramcharita Manasa. Pundits have no knowledge. What is that? You understand? And you have 12,000 years, so you can't find the date previous to that, but the Bible have it. In the 15th year, meaning 1,500 years after 12,000 years, will be 13,500. That is where we start the CE calendar. Who started that? The same Hindus again.
Yeah.
Yeah. They rate up these Romans and like they were dumb people. I keep saying that. They had no calendar, they had no dates, they had nothing.
Yeah.
And we Hindus themselves can't seem to understand their own calendar. So I am amazed at who are the teachers and how clumsy they could be. How, man, I am sometimes talking about them is just wasting time. All right? I think that should be good there. Or you have any other question?
No, that was the bulk of the questions. That was...
All right. Okay, we should call it off there.
Yeah.
All right. Thanks very much.
Sankhya Television, the first Hindu TV station in Trinidad.